this is Ginger from My Sister Scrapper. Well, today I have a tutorial to share with you. This is a mini album page tutorial, and it's one that has been requested for quite some time. This is the page style that I used in my most recent project, which was the Prima Coffee Break mini album. And it's this page here that flips up like this, and you have several pockets here and out here, and then you flip the page and you have the same thing on the back side. So it's the same page as that mini album, as well as the same page design in the Graphic 45 Good Old Sport mini album. So if you've been waiting for this tutorial, this is the one for you. I apologize, it's taken me so long to do this, and it's also the same page design as this My Mind's Eye mini album. And as you can see in this one, I didn't make my spine big enough, but the difference is on the other two mini albums I used solid cardstock, and with this one I used the actual design paper to create the pages. And on this one I added an extra element piece on both sides of the pages. So it's the same page design, and I'm going to show you how to create it using solid cardstock. And it's also the same page design as the Mother Goose mini album, so if you've been waiting for that tutorial, again, it's all the same page design. So what you will need to create this page design is 12 by 12 sheets of cardstock. You're going to make 3 pages, so you're going to need 3 sheets of cardstock for the base of the pages. And then you're going to need a couple more sheets of 12 by 12 so we can create the add-on that had all of the pockets. Now before we get started, I just want you to know that I did not come up with this design originally. About 3 or 4 years ago I saw this on Elsa's YouTube channel, and her YouTube name is Just a Few Designs by Elsa, and she's darling. However, I did alter her design so I could use it with a hinge binding, and I did contact her and ask her if it was okay to do a tutorial, and she said absolutely. So just so you know, I did contact her and she gave me permission to do this tutorial, because I don't like to do that unless I get permission. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take our piece of 12 by 12 cardstock, put it in your scoreboard, and you're going to score directly at 6 inches. Okay. And then what we want to do is we want to go ahead and fold on that score line and get a really good crease. Okay. So once you've got it folded, you're going to go ahead and put it back in your scoreboard again, and you're going to score at 4 inches. And you're scoring through 2 sheets of paper, so, and then flip it around and score at 4 inches again. Okay. So then what we want to do is we want to get our paper trimmer out. And we're going to go ahead and with the folded edge right here on our left, we're going to trim off this bottom section a 1/2 inch. So go ahead and put it in your paper trimmer and trim off a 1/2 inch. So you're going to trim that off. Okay. Then what you're going to do is you've still got this piece that we trimmed at the facing the bottom, and your folded edge is on the left. You're going to stick this folded edge inside your paper trimmer at the 1/2 inch mark over here, and we're going to trim down a 1/2 inch from the top all the way to that first score line. And we're going to stop. And then we're going to go ahead and bring our blade all the way to the bottom and do the same thing from the bottom. We're going to just do it right up to that other score line, that first score line here at the top. So it should look like this. You should have a flap here and a flap here. Okay. Then what we want to do is we're going to go ahead and, again, we want to make sure we have really good creases before we start gluing everything down. We're going to take this bottom little tab and we're going to fold it up to the score line. I'm going to take the top and we're going to go ahead and fold it down like this. Okay. Now, if you want, you can use your bind it all, and you can use this. This is going to be your binding edge, and you can bind this page with your bind it all or rings or whatever. But I wanted to use it with a hinge binding, so that's where I altered her design. So then what you want to do, if you've got this folded, we're going to go ahead and take this top piece here and fold on that score line and fold it down. And then we're going to take the bottom piece and we're going to fold the first piece up. And the one underneath, we're going to fold it up as well. You can fold them both at the same time, but it's a little thick for me, so I like to do them one at a time. Okay. So then we've got this folded down like this, and then this piece here, we're going to go ahead and flip it over and fold it to the back. Okay. Now, that basically is our page. This is our binding. This is our flap that flips up. This is a pocket here and a pocket here, and you flip it over again here, and then we're going to have a pocket here. So what we're going to do next is, before we glue anything, we want to punch our notches for our pockets. I like to use my envelope punch board for this. If you don't have that, you can use a circle punch and just do a half circle. But I'm going to use the envelope punch board because I did have people ask how I do that. So what we're going to do first is, we've got this folded, and we're going to flip this up, and our top piece here, we're going to go ahead and fold this corner down, and I just eyeball it, just so I leave about a ½ an inch at the bottom, and just fold it at a little corner here like this. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make this a pocket, so we're going to cut a notch out of here. So the way I do this is, this pocket should be 5½ inches. So we're going to put this in our punch board at 2 3/4 at this edge here at the 2 3/4 mark, and that should be half of 5½, right? Right. Yeah. There we go. That's our notch for our little pocket. And then this is going to go back up. And this goes down. And then what we want to do is we're going to punch a notch on this piece as well. So we're going to go ahead and unfold everything that we had. And we're going to go ahead and just use this center section. We want to put a notch in here. And again, this should be 4 inches. So we're going to go ahead and put this, create this fold line on the 2-inch mark on our punch board, and which would be the center, and punch. And if you're not really good with math, you can take your centering ruler and just find the center and put a little pencil mark here, and then just put that right in your punch board. Line your center mark up with the center of that and just punch. So that's what we want to do first. Now fold it back into all the pieces we had. And we're going to glue this puppy together. Okay. So we're done with our punch board. Now what we want to do is we're going to start back over here with our little flaps, and we want to glue these puppies down so they stay nice and flat. So what I like to do is unfold everything, and I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to put some glue just right here on these tabs, not on this inside section, but just on these small little pieces here. And you can use a wet glue or your ATG gun, either one. I'm just going to use my ATG gun for this. It's just to hold those down while we're going to glue them down. Okay. So now those are secure. Glued those together. Now we're going to fold this little short piece, is going to go up first, and then we're going to fold this piece down and glue those down. So I'm going to use my wet glue for that. Again, you don't have to. You can use score tape or something that's pretty strong. So glue that one down, and then we're going to go ahead and glue this one on top of it. Okay, just hold that for a second till it grabs. Okay, so now what we want to do is we have all these little pockets here. We want to actually make them pockets. Now, you can use your wet glue and just run a bead of glue, but I need more space, and because you have a lot of tags and everything, it gets so tight for your tags to go in and out. I like to make little hinges. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make hinges to create these as pockets. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to fold our page back up, and we're going to do the one on the back side. So we're going to make this piece a pocket here. So we need to seal this up. So you're going to take your, you can just use scraps, but I had a bunch of 1-inch strips, and I just put them in my scoreboard and scored them in the middle at a 1/2 inch, and then folded on them and put some score tape on them. So what you're going to need for this first one, which is this one right here, we don't need to do one on the bottom because those are folded up and that's sealed. We just need to do one for here. So this should be 5.5 inches. So we'll make it 5 1/4, just so we don't get anything stuck in there. So get your paper trimmer out. You've got your little hinges, and we're going to trim this to 5 1/4. And I like to just make them with, 12-inch strips, and then just put my tape on and then cut whatever I need. Okay. So we've got our page out, and we're going to do this center section here. Okay, so we're going to put this right along there. So take the backing off of your tape on one side. And we've got the notch here on the left, and we're going to put this right along the top. And we're going to put it just right on that fold. So you can see that right in there. Okay, just like that. And then take the other piece of backing off your tape and fold it down. Okay, so now what that's done, once you fold it back up, you flip this up and you actually have a pocket here. So this is all sealed. Okay. So now what we want to do is we want to make pockets out of these. Again, we're going to use hinges to do this. And these little hinges need to be, they're 3 1/2, so we'll make them just under 3 1/2. We're going to need 2. So again, we're going to take our little strips here and cut us 2 pieces that are just slightly under 3 1/2. They can be 3 1/4, 3 3/8. Let's get our page back here. And we're going to go ahead and take the backing off. Now you can, if you want, go ahead and put your design paper here to mat that first. I do it afterwards. It's a little cumbersome to do it this way, but this way these little things don't get stuck on your tag. So that's why I put my page together and then mat when I'm finished. And put the other one on the other side. And then go ahead and pull the backing off of this and this one. And then go ahead and fold this piece up, just like this. Okay. And then we have created our pocket here. You get the full width. So then we're going to fold this one up and make this a little pocket here. So we just need to put another hinge on this end right here. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and you can use a decorative corner rounder. You can just use a regular corner rounder, or you can leave it plain. But I'm going to go ahead and round the corner. I'm going to use a 3/8 of an inch corner chomper to do that on that little piece that I folded down. I'm just going to stick that in there and chomp that little edge. Just makes it a little more decorative. And you can put a button there, however you want to hold that little flap down. So now again we're going to need another little hinge. Again, this should be about 3 1/4. Yeah, 3 3/8, 3 1/4, something like that. It's just slightly smaller than our page. So we will trim this off about right there. And we only need one for this one. Again, take the backing off of one side, put it along the edge here. And then pull the backing off the other piece. And take this piece and fold it up. Okay. Now, that's our little page. So now we have, again, it's pretty thick, so you need to fold your creases really well. So we have our flap here. This is going to flip up. And then we have our pocket here, our pocket here. We flip our page over. This goes up, and we have our pocket here. Now we're going to create the piece that goes on top of here, just like in this book here. We have, this is our flap, but we have this pocket section here on top of it. So we have a pocket here, a pocket here, a pocket here, and then you actually have a little tiny pocket here. So we're going to make the piece that goes on top of that. And again, we're going to use our 12 by 12 solid cardstock. What you're going to need is you're going to take your piece of cardstock and you're going to trim it down to 4 3/4 by 12. So you can get 2 out of 1 and use the other section left for your tag. So you will need, we need to make 6 of these because we're going to do 3 pages. So we're going to do 6, 1 on each side of the flap. So then what you do, once you get it cut down to 4 3/4 by 12, get your scoreboard out. Put it in your scoreboard so the 4 3/4 is along the top, and you're going to score at 4 1/4 all the way down. Flip it around and score at 4 1/4 again. Okay. So then what we're going to do is put it in so the 12 inches is here, and then we're going to score at 5 inches. Right here, 5 inches. And then we're going to flip it around again, and we're going to score at 1 1/4 and 3 inches. Okay. So that's all the scoring we're going to do. So now what we want to do is we're going to fold our 5-inch section, the large section, we're going to fold that up like this and burnish it. And then we're going to flip it over, and we're going to fold this first score line back. And then this one is going to go this way. Fold that one up so it's accordion fold. Okay. So it should look like this. But then we got these 1/2-inch tabs. So what we want to do is we're going to go ahead and fold those as well, because those are what we're going to attach to the top. So what I like to do is open it back up, and everywhere where there's a fold mark, you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut a notch out on both sides. So again, I like to angle these a little bit here as well. So we're going to cut an angle there, and we're going to cut a notch out of here, just up to that score line, so a little V. And then same with this one. And flip it around and do the other side as well. Again, we're going to take a little notch off here. Okay. So again, fold it back up. Now what we want to do is we're going to go ahead and fold our little tabs. So since this one's going to go this way, we want this to be a pocket, so we're going to fold these tabs in like this. Okay, and this one is going to be folded in, so flip that open and fold these tabs down. So that's going to make a pocket. And then on the next section, again, we're going to fold those in like this. this. And then on the bottom one, we're going to fold those in as well. Okay, so that's our extra piece that we're going to add to the top of this. And it's slightly smaller. You can move it down to the bottom if you want. You can center it however you want to apply it on here. Now what you can do is, instead of gluing this down, you can actually make this so it folds out, which is I think what Elsa did in her original tutorial. And I'll put a link to her original tutorial in the description box as well so you can see it. So now we're going to add our score tape to all of our little hinges. So fold your hinges down and go ahead and put your score tape on there. Okay. So we're going to put score tape on here. And here. And here.
I'm just going to scoot this out.
Okay. Okay, now before we glue it down to the top, go ahead and lay it on here so your pocket's here and your pocket's here, and then this is going to make a pocket, but I like to put a little notch in this one. So again, we're going to get our envelope punch board, or you can use your circle punch and do a half circle, and this should measure 3 3/4. Yep, slightly under 3 3/4. So we're going to put this at 1 7/8. A little under 1 7/8, right there. That should be the center. And punch. Okay. Now we're going to make this a pocket, and we're going to add it right here to the top. Now this is the one time when I go ahead and put my design paper on here first, because you will see quite a bit here unless you center it. So you want the craft showing. It's up to you, or you can just do a small piece. I think what I did on my last one, I moved it down to the end and just put a small piece of design paper here. So let's go ahead and make our pockets. Fold all of these down first. And then this one, we do need to seal up the bottom so our tags don't fall out. So again, we'll take a little piece of one of our hinges, and we're going to stick that in there just like that. And I make this one small. It's not that big of a deal because we just want it as a stopper so our tag won't fall out. So you can use whatever scrap you have left of your little hinge. So again, we're going to put that right there on the bottom, and then pull this off. Okay, so now this is going to go, oopsie, well, we'll do that one afterwards. This is going to go right here on our page. So our binding's over here. We want the bottom facing the binding. So I like to line it up like this and stick her down. Okay. As you can see, I forgot to fold this one down, so no big deal. I'll do it now. Okay, there we go. So now we have a pocket here. We have a pocket here. We have a tiny pocket here, and then we also have a pocket over here. I mean, oh my God, how cute is that? This is actually a pretty good sized pocket here, and this one as well. So then we flip it up. Now what I did on my Mind's Eye mini album is I went ahead and made this piece and put it again on this side as well, which is great, and I really liked that idea, but I should have made my spine a little bit bigger. So It's up to you. You can put them on my other ones I made. I just put one on this side, and then I flipped it over and I made another piece just like this and put it over here on this side. Okay. So then what we want to do is we want to be able to attach our page. Once we have our page basically done, how are we going to put it to our hinge binding? We need to create something that we can slide our hinge in. So what I did is I created a small little pocket that's going to go on top of this pocket. So we have a pocket here, and this piece measures 2.5 by 5, and yes, 2.5 by 5, and then put it in your scoreboard, and you're going to score at 1/2 inch on both sides. Okay, and then fold in your score lines, and then again, if you want a notch, you can, or you can go ahead and make this a little taller and use your decorative edge punch. You can use, do whatever you guys want. Get creative with your edges. It's kind of fun to do that. So then take my envelope punch board, and again, this piece should measure 4 inches. So with my tabs folded in, I'm going to put this one tab here along the 2-inch mark. That should be centered, and punch. Just like that. So I'm going to take our page here. I'm going to pull off our tape backing. Now with this one, we don't have to seal up the bottom because our hinge is going to seal that up. So we're going to put this right along the edge of our book, just like this, and there you have it. Again, take your bone folder and really fold it down because it gets kind of thick, and then you can make another one of these to put on here, or you can just have one on the top. But that's the page, and then basically this piece, when you go to put it on your binding, you'll need to open that flap up because this is what goes on your hinge binding. So there you go. That's my little tutorial on how I created the pages in the Prima Coffee Break mini album, as well as the Graphic 45 Good Old Sport and the My Mind's Eye mini album, as well as the Mother Goose album, but I don't have that one with me. That one belongs to somebody else. So there you go, everybody. That's my tutorial. Thanks for watching. Bye.